Hello, I'm Liz Hill. Welcome to Podsnappery, the willful determination to ignore the objectionable or inconvenient, at the same time assuming airs of superior virtue and noble resignation. We explore things I find interesting, unusual, or annoying. So let's get down to it and spill the tea. So, fairy tales, take two. We all grew up with them, but what do we really know about them? Were they true? Are the Disney versions an accurate depiction of the original telling?
No, 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 no!
Right you are, Remy. Now, I see fairy tales as what Winston Churchill once called a terminological inexactitude. You know, a lie. This time we're focusing on Beauty and the Beast. You remember that one, right?
Be our guest. Be our guest. Put our service to the test. Tie your napkin round your neck, Sherry, and we provide the rest.
So let's go back, way back, to the beginning.
A very good place to start.
Thank you so much, Mary Poppins. The original printed version of Beauty and the Beast is credited to French writer Gabrielle Suzanne Barbeau de Villeneuve. Nice name. She included it in a 1740 story collection called The Young American, or Tales of the Sea. She claimed that a chambermaid told it to a young lady while on board a ship to America. Villeneuve's telling is over 100 pages long. Yeah, just like her name, a bit too long.
Do you think the author might be interested in rewriting his work to cut it down? Maybe if you cut out all the O's, you might lose 6 pages there.
I don't think so, no.
In this story, Beauty is the daughter of a king and an evil fairy, who has a penchant for seducing and marrying rich and powerful men. In fact, the very same fairy who turned the prince into a dumb and pitiful beast when she was unsuccessful seducing him. A highlight of Villeneuve's version includes Beauty chatting with birds. Ah, how very Disney-esque. She also dreams every night of a dashing prince who is actually the beast and a wise fairy. Even better, she is able to watch any theatrical performance of her choice through a magic mirror.
What wouldst thou know, my queen?
Think about that. The ability to view performances in a mirror from a 1740 story. That's a pretty cool concept. And I bet there were no ads with that streaming service. Yet Villeneuve's story didn't stay the course. Jean-Marie Le Prince de Beaumont rewrote it several years later, creating the adaptation we know best today. She shortened the story and wrote it with the intent of having governesses share it with gifted young girls. Now, there are a few things in this written version that didn't make it into the Disney films.
Of course.
Belle's sisters were two characters who were deleted from the 1991 film Beauty and the Beast, and would have acted as co-antagonists with Belle's suitors. They were cut alongside the overall screenplay due to then Disney chairman Jeffrey Katzenberg feeling it wasn't what the Walt Disney Company had in mind.
Of course. Of course.
In Beaumont's version, Beauty's father was a merchant of high esteem with 3 sons and 3 daughters, Beauty being the youngest and handsomest. The crux of the story is mostly the same, with 2 large exceptions. There's no Gaston, and a fairy turns the 2 mean sisters into statues at the end, statues that are conscious. The fairy states, "You shall stand before your sister's palace gate, and be it your punishment to behold her happiness. And it will not be in your power to return to your former state until you own your faults. But I am very much afraid that you will always remain statues." Wow. And she was the good fairy?
Hello, Clarice!
Neither of these 2 versions actually describe how Beast looks, other than saying he is ugly, furry, fierce, and frightful. The Beast we imagine today is the creation of clever illustrators, animators, and special effects teams. Anthropologists believe the story is actually over 4,000 years old. Indeed, elements of Beauty and the Beast appear in tales from many different cultures. In Cupid and Psyche, a myth from ancient Rome, Psyche is transported to a magical palace where she is served by invisible servants and not allowed to see Cupid's true form. In East of the Sun, West of the Moon, an old Norwegian fairy tale, a young girl is taken to a castle hidden in a mountain, served by invisible servants, and not allowed to see the bear by night. Also, in The Singing Springing Lark from the Brothers Grimm, the enchanted prince is disguised as a lion. Perhaps an amalgam of these tales inspired Villeneuve's tale. Although the gold standard today, Disney wasn't the first to make a Beauty and the Beast film. That accolade belongs to French director Jean Cocteau, whose 1946 film La Belle et la Bête is considered to be a romantic fantasy classic.
Il ne faut pas me regarder dans les yeux.
Also, there was a TV series in 1987 that lasted 2.5 seasons. Remember this?
No. Catherine.
And now you know why it was so short-lived. Ron Perlman as the Beast, huh? I think I liked him better as Hellboy.
You will learn to obey me, follow protocol, and stay focused at all times.
That word, focused? Yeah, with your accent, I wouldn't use it that much.
Now, there are many themes and concepts in this tale which harken back hundreds of years. Marie Tatar compares the tale to the theme of animal brides and grooms found in folklore throughout the world, pointing out that the French tale was specifically intended for the preparation of young girls in 18th century France for arranged marriages. The urban opening is unusual in fairy tales, as is the social classes of the characters, neither royal nor peasants. It may reflect the social changes occurring at the time of its first writing. Andreas Amberger points out that the design of the beast in the 1946 film, adaptation by Jean Cocteau, was inspired by the portrait of Beatriz Gonçalves, a native of Tenerife who suffered from hypertrichosis, causing an abnormal growth of hair on his face and other parts, and who came under the protection of the French king and married a beautiful Parisian woman named Catherine. Wow, he kind of reminds me of the Cat in the Rough. Now, does this tale hold up today? I mean, the concept of a kind but hairy guy sticking to the shadows out of fear and embarrassment of his appearance? Why, with today's technology, I'm pretty sure there's a fix. Speaking of which, here is a quick word from our sponsor.
Hi there. If you're here, you probably know that body grooming is a sensitive issue. Grooming your back, chest, demands a certain delicacy that may have been difficult to attain. Until now. The Philips Body Groom has a sleek, ergonomic design for a safe and easy way to trim those scruffy underarm hairs, the untidy curls on and around your as well as the hard-to-reach locks on the underside of your and let me tell you, this whole issue used to make me quite uncomfortable. But these days, with a hair-free back, well-groomed shoulders, and an extra optical inch on my well, let's just say life has gotten pretty darn cozy.
See? Problem solved.
What?
So, the willful determination to ignore the objectionable or inconvenient, at the same time assuming airs of superior virtue and noble resignation. That, my friends, is Podsnappery. Thanks for watching. I'm Liz Hill. So, if I have learned anything from this tale, I guess that looks don't really matter, as long as you're rich and live in a palace.